So X1 token is called XN. That token has or will have 1 billion tokens in its allocation.
Okay, so are you saying that's been defined? That is the number.
Unless we have a better idea, which we may,
Okay.
a billion tokens is a billion tokens.
Gotcha.
Now, when I say tokens, they're going to be tokens on Ethereum and coins on X1. So the way that it works, like imagine having a million XN on Ethereum as tokens. Those are freely convertible to XN gas coins native to X1. So you will be able to trade them and buy them or sell them or create liquidity pools on Ethereum and yet have a one-to-one conversion to X1. So they're called coins on X1. The symbol is the same. XN stands for X1 network. But on Ethereum, there are literally ERC20 tokens that you can do things with. You can trade them, you can stake them, you can do all kinds of things with them. But the one thing that I wanted to stress is that X1 is coming in 2024. Now, XN release will happen much, much sooner in 2023. So XN on Ethereum is going to be released sooner.
Oh my goodness. So let me get this straight. If I just heard you correctly, the game essentially of burning Zen to get XN is going to begin before.
That's right. The rewards are coming sooner than the chain itself.
And then any rewards, as you just called it, any XN rewards on ETH will be in parity to what is.
They're going to be like will have a one-to-one stable relationship between X1 coins and XN tokens on Ethereum.
So that what you get on Ethereum will then be transferable over into the X1 chain.
Fully transferable.
I feel like I'm excited about this.
And transferable back too. So back and forth. You can move it in there and take it back out.
Oh, so many questions. Okay, so tell me more.
Yes. So here's a way the tokenomics of XN work. When we announce the launch and deploy the smart contract on Ethereum, you will be asked to burn Zen to actually get the XN. Now, technically, you could argue, and a lot of people argue that Zen is unlimited, but that's actually not true. You cannot get enough Zen from the market today because the liquidity pool is too low, and you cannot mint it fast enough because it's in the future. Like if you wanted to participate in the XN's smart contract and derive it somehow by burning Zen, you have to get it somehow first, right? You have to get Zen. Would you start minting 500 days out just to do it? Well, probably not. You can't, because you would miss out on this 500 days of non-participation. I mean, you will be minting it for sure. That's your period. But anyone else who has Zen actually will be able to participate immediately. Now, XN is limited to 1 billion tokens. Limited, which means that there's no more tokens ever produced. And half of the total supply will be burned. So we're going to be reduced to 500 million tokens in its entirety. And every time we use X1 and we generate fees, half of those fees are burned too. So that token is 50% deflationary from the get-go and also subject to the fees that are generated on the X1 chain. So it will reduce its supply throughout its lifetime on this planet. Always. There will never be another XN printed, minted, allocated, whatever. So it's a very, very scarce commodity, scarce coin. It's a utility coin, but acts as a token on Ethereum. Now, the way to get it is to burn Zen. Now, how do you burn Zen? So let's say that in the universe of Zen is only you and I. So CryptoKiness is Mr. Jack. I have 10 million Zen and you have 5 million Zen. Now, they're sitting in our MetaMasks and we're about to play this game. The contract is open. We can now use it. I decide to burn 1 million Zen because I want to hold on to some of my other Zen and I actually do not know what you're going to do. So because it's on chain and transparent, you CryptoKiness sees that Mr. Jack just burned 1 million Zen. Now, you decided to even the stakes, so to speak, and you burn 1 million from yourself. Or you could say, no, I'm burning 2 million because I want to get 60%, 65% on top of Jack. Or you can go with 3 and then you get 75 or 80%. Now, the emissions of XN happen over time. Every day there is an emission, every day.
Okay.
And it starts high so that there will be an incentive for people to join in early, and it declines over time for about 1,000 days. So every day there is emissions and they decline. So think of Bitcoin happening, how every 4 years now you get the rewards that are 50% less. What happens with XN is that there is a decline curve over 1,000 years that happens every day, not 1,000 years, 1,000
I was
days.
just going to request that.
1,000 days, and it's declining. So if you come in one day early before I do, you're actually locking more of the emissions than I would. If I'm coming in a year later, then I just missed out on a giant opportunity of this bigger emission. emissions from the contract. Now, let's say that we both get in at the same time. We both put in 2 million Zen and that Zen gets burned. Okay. Now, what happens is you have 50% shares and I have 50% shares. And when I say shares, it's the emissions protocol that's creating XN for you and I. It's equal. You get that much XN and I get that much XN every day. Now, when I say get, the contract tracks it and you can check with the contract how much XN will you be able to claim. Now, I decide that I want to claim it right away within several days. As soon as I claim it and I get my XN, my shares disappear. And if it's only 2 people playing, now just before I claimed, we had 50-50 split. I just claimed, my shares disappear. Now you're making all emissions. All of them go to you while you haven't claimed yet.
Well, so not claiming is another game theory built into harnessing the airdrop.
That's right. It's not an airdrop. It's a claim rights. It's like you're mining XN with Zen. So Zen is fuel. It gives you the shares. And if any one of the players decide to claim XN, they remove their shares and their participation from the contract. And the rest of the people start getting more. So you see what's happening? So people will have an incentive to stay within the contract for as long as they can. If they stay for 1,000 days, their shares are locked in for 1,000 days and they get most of the emissions. If they lose their nerve and within a couple of weeks they decide to claim it, the only thing for them to do is to get back with the new Zen that they can burn.
Oh, I see what's happening. So it's incentive not to claim early, almost in a way to incentivize people not to take it and dump it.
It's like a reverse staking.
Yeah. Okay.